So I want to give you an example of what state media means. State financed media means CBC. They couldn't survive on their own. They have to get, I think it's a 1.4 billion a year now from the taxpayers to run their garbage. Here's something. It's actually a couple of years old. This was them making fun of the truckers, the Freedom Convoy. This hour from a show called supposed to be comedy called This Hour is 22 Minutes. I guess they thought enough of this that they re-released the trailer to promote this abomination. So this is what Canadians pay for, right? By the way, CBC is supposed to represent all Canadians, right? Not supposed to be biased. Let's take a look at this. This is what they thought of the truckers, the Freedom Convoy.
Come with me and you'll be in a world of pure disinformation. Try your luck in a truck demonstration. Let's begin. Take a spin, traveling in a world of fabrication, and we'll see Terry Fox desecration.
Who won't take a vaccine, but takes hydroxychloroquine? Threaten politicians just by typing on a screen. The anti-vax can. The anti-vax can.
It's the play the Ottawa Citizen is calling so crazy, it has to be true.
Oompa loompa doobity dee. This is a job for the OPP. Oompa loompa doobity doo. RCMP, this job is for you.
I never thought my life could be anything but catastrophe, but suddenly I begin to see a beautiful truck for me, 'cause I'm an emboldened bigot.
I'm an emboldened bigot, he says. They talk about misinformation. The nerve of these people talking about misinformation. I mean, it's true. That's the only thing that's funny about this. This is only state media could produce something this not only unfunny, but this propagandistic. Only state media could produce something like this. Something so worthless, something so counterproductive to a society's well-being. Only state media could produce this. I mean, there's no actual jokes in this. It's just insulting people they disagree with. Or, sorry, that disagree with Justin Trudeau, who's ultimately signing the paychecks for them. State-funded media. State media. That's the joke. That's the only joke in this. That Canadians have to pay to be mocked by talentless morons, by talentless propagandists. So this is representing all Canadians? Let's see. Defund this garbage because nobody is watching. Only 50 views on YouTube. So the original that came out 2 years ago, had, I think, 21,000 views. Let's see. Somebody actually says it under here. Let's see. Yeah. This video from 22 minutes is 2 years old and has 21,000 views. Okay. Yeah. But they thought so much of this that they promoted the segment 2 days ago. Can they not produce new content with a massive budget? It's even worse that they're trying to vilify people over 2 years after the fact. See, they thought so much of this garbage that they wanted to remind everybody that they created this garbage, insulting millions of Canadians that unfortunately have to pay for them to do it. Defund this garbage. Yes, defund it. State media is not worth the cost. State media, you don't want state media. If this is what it's going to produce, again, nobody but the CBC could produce an abomination like this. Because first off, it doesn't matter if it's funny. They all get paid anyway. The show goes on, no matter how incompetent and useless. Insult millions of Canadians on their own dime? Who cares? Show's going to go on. Trudeau's going to keep signing those checks. Defund them now. Commie gets nothing. Shut up. Why do we need this show? What does this bring to our culture? Does this enrich Canadian culture? Why do we need this? No, fuck you. Commie gets nothing. Commie gets absolutely nothing. I tell you what, it's enough to drive you insane, isn't it? Let's see. We've got a great idea. Let's see. We need something funny. So let's make something that's not funny, but that's insulting to millions of Canadians.
Oh, good for you.
Absolutely pathetic. I mean, the worst thing about it is just how unfunny it is. But again, it doesn't matter. This is what happens. This is socialism. This is the kind of art you can expect from socialism, right? And CBC is basically a socialist institution at this point, just funded by the taxpayers. They can't make any money on their own because their content is garbage and nobody watches it. This comment here, let's see, where was it again? This video from 22 minutes is 2 years old and has 21,000 views. You know, before YouTube quarantined my channel in like March, I put out a video that was, I guess what it was about? It was about Peter Hitchens. Peter Hitchens, it had 76,000 views. 76,000. This, how much did this, you know how much money it cost me to do that video? Nothing. Nothing. It didn't cost me any money to do it. Here's from 22 minutes with a giant budget who gets millions of dollars, and in 2 years, it can get 21,000 views. I think a video on Peter Hitchens, who most people have never heard of, and it got 76,000 views. So I don't know. I've got videos that have more than 21,000 views. Are these people employable anywhere other than state media? I kind of doubt it. I think that there's one place where these people can do a comedy show, and it's on the state media. I think otherwise it's, well, I mean, you know what? They can't even get a job at Tim Hortons because they're not from India. So I don't know. It might be a tough road for them. But you know what? I don't care. Don't make garbage like this. Don't insult millions of Canadians, maybe. How about that? Don't force millions of Canadians to pay for you to mock them. And just the, how many times they mention misinformation in this that's grand, ain't it? Isn't that rich? From these people, from the CBC, accusing other people of spreading misinformation. Isn't that rich? Oh, beautiful. And getting paid for it. I say they shouldn't get paid for it anymore. I say defund the CBC and turn all of the CBC properties into low-income housing. How about that? Let's see. Radio Streamer says, what utter commie trash. I feel like there is a guy with a gun saying, dance, monkey, dance. It's like what I imagine, like if there was such a thing as a comedy sketch show in the Soviet Union, it would be like this. It would be the same thing exactly, just in Russian. Antipop, CBC used to have Stompin' Tom Connors late at night sometimes. Yeah, I mean, the CBC, it's actually a tragedy what's been done to the CBC, the takeover by wokeness. There's just another institution that's just been conquered by when you really get down to it, if you to explain it to your common man, the sort of things that they champion, they wouldn't be for it, right? It's really a fringe ideology that's just taken over every institution. It's really a tragedy. It saddens me what's happened to the CBC. I don't actually like having to say, like, defund it, get rid of it. It's beyond hope at this point, you know? But it is, unfortunately, and I'm not happy about having to say that, but it's got to go. Streamer says, I bet a live cam on a pile of horse shit would get more viewers faster. Yeah. Interpop says, this chat kicks CBC. This chat is absolutely more entertaining than the CBC. It's infinitely more entertaining. It pisses me off. It saddens me that they have to ruin everything. Anyway, that's all I'm going to say about that. Please like, share, and subscribe. Subscribing really helps me out. I thank you for that. I will see you next time.